not showing up at all for my kids because I'm just so wrapped up in my own grief.
There's this narrative to women that being a mother is such a burden and like children are chains. I felt that in the past.
This is probably gonna get cut, but when I was thinking about pros and cons to getting married,
This is unhinged. Found out I was pregnant, my business was failing, and I was like, dang, this is just not at all what I pictured my life to be like.
it'd take a long time for newlyweds to catch up.
You'll never catch up to us. Oh my God.
Always here to share the hope
And the hard with heart and humor. Welcome back to Always Here
with Abby
and Abby.
Is that how we're gonna do it?
I like that.
Okay.
I feel like this week has been crazy with the launch and the announcement and everything.
I know. It's a big week. I'm really excited about it. And we just want to say thank you also so much for all the excitement about it. You guys spoke, we listened, and it's been so fun. I literally think about this like all the time. I'm like, the fact that we get to call this working, but it's just hanging out with your sisters and just like having fun. Like, what a blessing this is.
I saw a comment that said that. They're like, how fun is it that you guys get to just work and spend time together? I'm like, that's so true. It's
That's
the best
how I
job
feel.
ever.
It's fun.
I feel like the build up to the announcement in the first episode was so much work, like anticipation, figuring everything out. Like we were super intentional and serious about things. And I felt this pressure and like nerves. And now that then we announced it and then doing the first episode, I was like, okay. So hopefully it just feels like, oh, like this breath has been released.
I'm ready to get into
way.
a rhythm with it.
Same.
And like also just connect with our like community more. Like right now it just feels like this ambiguous like thing. But now as we like start to build the community and like people are listening to it, it just makes it so much more rewarding and fun.
Totally. I'm logged into the Always Here email, and I've been getting the emails about all the voicemails coming through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many that come through.
Really?
Yes.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Does that go to your phone, Addie?
No, I just have it on my email.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I have it. Sorry, everyone. It goes straight to voicemail, so they don't have to wait through like the tones of it, and then they get your little jingle.
Smart.
Really quick, I wanted to hop in here to just say we produce this podcast for free to you guys. So I think it would just be a very kind gesture if you took the time right now, 5 seconds, to just hit follow, subscribe, heart, like it. Basically just show whatever platform you're on that you enjoy our show and that you intend to come back. We would really, really appreciate that. And yeah, here's your 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it, and thank you in advance. Let's get back to the show. Yeah, I think we like to start off every episode a little bit like just kind of saying what this is for, but our like motto is to share the hope and the hard with heart and humor. And yeah, it'd be fun to share like a little bit of hope and a little bit of something that isn't as fun maybe that we're dealing with in life. And so I have a hope, which I kind of feel bad saying, actually. I had like I had two little versions of me on my shoulder when I was thinking of mine this morning. I was like, it's not nice because I have two sister-in-laws with little babies that probably aren't sleeping. But
Oh no, she's sleeping like a princess.
my hope is that I'm in a season where I'm sleeping really good.
Wow.
And I feel guilty saying that, guys.
Yeah.
But maybe you can look at it as a hope to your future.
I hope that you're sleeping well. For our sake, you should be sleeping.
We hope that.
We can't. We're not sleeping, so
We're not
you're
sleeping.
doing great.
That was actually my hard.
Oh, really?
If I had
I'm
one,
so
same.
sorry.
We're on the same wavelength.
I hate that. And I think the reason this feels so rewarding though is like knowing like where I've been, like where.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny just because like the nature of my children, but it's like my oldest one is always the one that's gonna be, and he's surely in our room sleeping with us, but at least we're sleeping.
But at least you're sleeping.
I just hear the door creak at like, because we have his light set to turn a different color, so he has like several light cues that happen in his room, but it turns blue after 11:30, so we can have like alone time and don't have to go to bed at like 7 o'clock when he goes to bed.
Yeah.
But usually he wakes up somewhere like around 1 o'clock, and I just hear our door squeak, and he doesn't even say anything. He just scampers into his little mattress on the ground and goes right back to sleep. But because he's with us, he sleeps so late because he's just like, I'm just in mom and dad's room. Sometimes he's awake, just like laying there, and then Augie is sleeping in because Griffin's not waking him up.
Wow.
So Griffin woke up at 9:20 on Saturday morning.
Did you think were you like, are you okay?
I didn't think he was in there anymore. I thought Matt had gotten up with him, and I was just like,
Oh.
what are you doing? He was asleep. I was like, I just laid there awake.
It's growing.
So I feel bad saying that, but maybe you guys can look to your future.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like with the newborn stage, it changes so often.
This
so
age
I don't
is
get
a hard
sad about
one.
it. Yeah,
This age
I'm
is
like,
a
I
hard
don't get
one.
that sad about it. Because at this point, Vivian's 3 months. She's trying to roll. And so the sleep has been really bad.
They sleep so much better when they can get on their bellies.
Yes, they do.
Brielle, when she gets on her belly, she cries. She's like,
Really?
Get me back over. She sleeps on her side, though.
Oh,
Kind of weird.
That's cute. No, it's cute. Yeah, so I feel like when they go through those transition or milestone transitions, you just don't sleep very well. So I know it's gonna be short.
3, 4, and 5, those months are like
Yeah.
pretty tricky.
Yeah.
For
So we'll
sleep.
get through it. Yeah, we'll get through it. But that was my hard, was that the sleep the last couple of days hasn't been the best. And I feel like this postpartum, I'm coming out of a lot of the like hard things, and it's been feeling really good, but the brain fog has settled in, and I just cannot. Like during the day, it's not that bad, but in the evenings when I start to get tired, my thoughts do not form into sentences. And I cannot think of words. And I'll look at Caleb and I'm like, what is that thing that I'm trying? And I'll like explain it, and he'll have to tell me what I'm trying to say. So that has been that's just been really hard, heavy this week. And maybe just because it's been such a busy week with holidays and like the new year and everything. But yeah, my brain is not working.
That's tough.
Yeah, but we'll get through it. It's just a short season.
My hard was not that serious, but I just genuinely hate the month of January. And now that we're in it, I'm like, I don't know what it is. I just have a really hard time like transitioning out of the month of December, I guess. Like December, so I'm someone that like loves things boom, 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 and like all exciting. And then January always feels like we got to make our own fun. And sometimes it's kind of like, I just feel like my motivation's low, my productivity's low. I feel like every single night recently, I've just been like, what did I really get done today? And I'm just like down on myself at the end of the night, every single night. And I'm like, I don't even, like I want to do more, but I actually can't get myself to like do more.
Isn't that called the post-holiday blues or something? Because you're so expended
Maybe
from the holidays, and then you get into the January and you're just exhausted.
that's how I feel. And
Yeah.
I want to be one of those people that like kickstarts the year, like disciplined, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to. And I think part of it is that I'm not in any kind of routine. Like I haven't been going to the gym, and I did go to the gym today, and I'm like, like I feel like I got a little bit like back into me, but just in general, I need to just suck it up and just like try to find fun things to do in January. I'm planning a shower for Val.
Oh my god!
And so that's like kind of getting me excited. I'm like, that's a fun thing to do.
Fun.
And like we need to.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be Galentine's themed.
Cute. We should
A
call
little sweetheart is on the way.
I was gonna say we should call it Valentine's, but that's her.
That's actually a great idea.
I like it.
But
Let's do
Valentine's
it.
is already
Sweetheart
like
is
a
also
thing.
cute.
A little sweetheart is on the way. Valentine's
That's
Day.
that's a cute theme.
I got it from Pinterest. I did not.
I
I'm
love
not
that.
creative in that way, like with wordplay stuff.
Yeah.
No.
No, me neither.
Well, I'll leave it to the Pinterest people.
Fine. Okay, I want to help you with that.
Okay. What's crazy?
Wow.
Wait. What's your hope?
My hope.
Oh, yeah, Abby, gosh.
Well, let's think about this. I only thought about my heart.
It's been that hard.
Yeah, my brain just isn't working. We've had so many friends come in town, which has been fun, and my parents are back too. They do the snowbird thing, which is so fun. Yeah, and it's sweet. Just I love anytime our parents or like my parents or Caleb's parents come in, because CJ loves his grandparents so much, and it's so helpful when they're in town too. That's definitely been a highlight.
That's good.
Yeah, that's my hope. Okay, well, should we move on to wow, that's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy.
This has become the new TikTok viral sensation, and I am currently obsessed.
I have genuinely no clue.
I know.
We should try it after the episode.
We should. We'll make a video of us trying. That's a good idea, Addie.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this TikTok girl, her name's Courtney Cook. She is the cutest gal ever. She looks like a who, which she says is a compliment. Not with like her nose. Like she just has the sweetest, cutest little like. She's just so cute. Okay. Anyway, she got famous on TikTok. I think she's grown over 1 million followers within the last month that I've watched. She has over 2 million followers, and she does the craziest lunches and meals of all time. But they're not crazy to her. But I stopped on her videos the first time. It's called a Plowman's Lunch. She teaches British history, pretty sure. And a Plowman's Lunch is basically like a really random charcuterie board of stuff, like raw vegetables and random chunks of cheeses and breads and boiled potatoes, weird onions, and she'll just eat them like really
You got
randomly.
me at weird onions.
And I would like watch her videos and I'm like, this is the most disgusting, bizarre combinations of food and like the weirdest way to eat these foods, but I want to do it. And her responses to them are just, it's so amazing
Is it like
to
that
watch.
lady who did the chicken sausage and the cottage cheese and mustard?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Okay.
But maybe if that was like, do you know?
No, but I just put the video on your iPad so you can take a look at it.
Whoa.
The one that's gone really crazy is her sweet potato trend, where she roasts a sweet potato and she stuffs cheese inside of it and then just eats it like out of her
Like a
hand like a
burger.
hot dog. I don't know. It's so crazy.
What is this cheese?
Definitely.
Butter casse cheese.
What does she do for work?
She's a teacher.
Oh, cute.
So she has a whole series of
You
teachers'
guys.
lunches.
Okay. I'm not mad.
Oh my
So
god.
cute. I know,
Mom.
it's so gross.
Had a
That's
sweet
actually
potato like this last night.
I love that she loves this.
She is such an endearing person to watch.
That is the lunch.
That
Sweet
has gone so viral.
Really?
And people love to watch her eat this, and everyone's trying this concoction of sweet
Really?
potato
And do
cheese.
people like it?
They love it.
Yeah. That's why I want to try it. We
I
should
want to
try
try it. We should do it for a video.
Yeah.
It'd be super fun.
Okay, let's try it.
It's so, and just the way that she eats things, I've been inspired to eat raw vegetables. I'm like, oh, I can just eat a bell pepper like an apple? Sure. I did it.
You did it?
Well, with ranch. But yeah, kind of. No, I did slice it. I didn't eat it like an apple.
That's how she eats it?
She just eats the most random raw vegetables. Like, she'll take green onions. I took a video of it.
Green
Right,
onions?
Green onions, she'll just start.
Ew.
It's crazy. There was a
That's
video, Val, our friend Val, we're talking about her again.
She knows
I was
about her
talking
too.
about her. Yes, I brought her up, and she was like, me and her husband, or not me, her and her husband were watching her videos at night before bed, and there was a video of her eating the dumplings at 7 a.m. She loves soup dumplings. She puts them in these onion cups and puts soup dumplings in them, and then tops them with mayo and soy sauce and seeds and all kinds of stuff, and then she puts the whole onion cup in her mouth, and she just goes, oh yeah, yeah. And you're like, oh, I want to eat that. Never have I wanted to eat a raw onion cup in my life.
This is so funny to me. This is like, I'm fascinated by what people eat, but I think this is fascinating. This became a trend.
Oh, she's absolutely bloomed.
Bloomed. She's not going to be a teacher anymore.
No, how
All
good
of her food looks so good. I'm looking at her page.
It's
It
so
doesn't sound
odd.
good eating plain green onions.
And she
I'm
eats
trying
a
to
lot
look
of-
for that video.
a lot of British food. So it's a lot of stuff that I've never heard of. It's just so random, but she eats just such bizarre combinations that I want to try.
Gosh, you guys got me sold.
And the comments are always hilarious. They're like, yeah, this is what I eat when I'm trying to clean out my fridge, or you know, it's like
Yeah.
the leftovers. That's just how she
She said,
eats.
I just know that no food is wasted in your household.
Literally.
Well, that's funny.
I know.
I want to try it.
She is I'm always like, gotta stop. My TV show's on. That's how I feel with her videos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
That's wholesome.
That's our wow, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Because what she eats is truly crazy.
It's really crazy.
The next segment I thought we could talk about, this is like, I feel like last episode we talked about goals. It was kind of fun and tiffy. But this episode, Caleb showed me the Kelsea Ballerini song, I Sit in Parks. And I have not cried listening to a song since maybe I was a little child. This song is so beautiful. And I feel like it's just such a good conversation for us to have. Yeah, you listened to the song?
Yeah, you sent it to me and you were like, I haven't cried since listening to this. I was like, I'm scared. My immediate reaction was like, I'm not going to listen to it. Because if you
Yeah.
cry, then it's going to make me cry. But I listened to it and it didn't make me cry. But it is like, I was just blown away by her. What's the word I'm going to say? I was going to say humility. But
Yeah,
like,
and vulnerability.
vulnerability in this, like, in writing a song like this, especially from like so she made her career huge. Basically, is this true from her divorce album?
That was when I first knew her. So I think that's when she first became like she went on Call Her Daddy. And I think that really like pushed her career.
Well, wasn't Call Her Daddy recently?
No, she went on
that was a long
when
time
they got
ago.
her divorce, which was a while ago.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes
since
sense.
that was like her divorce was such a big part of like her like rising to fame, I think this song comes as like it's even more impactful then. Because, okay, so wait, should you play the song or do you want to?
Yeah,
I don't think we can play the
Yeah,
song.
we can't play it. I do want to listen to it again just to have like the fresh thoughts from it. But let's just play it and we can keep talking about it.
Don't cry right now.
I listened to it this morning again and I almost cried again.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I've never touched like that.
I am, gosh.
I feel like the first time I heard it, I was like, dang, I feel so sad and grateful at the same time. That is such a honest and shoot, it's gonna make me cry. And maybe it's like being almost 30 and having 2 kids. It's like, man, I just feel grateful. I think it just put into perspective, like, dang, these are the years. And like, I have 2 kids and I take them to the park with Caleb, and like, it just feels like this really sweet time of my life. And I was like, wow, I'm very grateful for that. I'm also sad that like these years are short with the little kids, but also like I felt very sad that I do feel like there's this narrative to women that being a mother is such a burden and like you can't live this like amazing life and like children are chains. And she's like the line about do they look at me and want my freedom as much as I want to be a mother? And I'm like, dang, like I felt that in the past. Like Caleb and I let me get it together for a second. Like when we found out that we were pregnant with CJ, my oldest, that was very much a surprise. I was 26 when I got pregnant. I had started a business that I had ran for 5 years with him, that Caleb had come on and joined. And at the time that I got pregnant, like the business was failing. I had all these big goals and dreams. I was like, I'm gonna be a businesswoman, all this stuff. So I had like found out I was pregnant, my business was failing, and I was like, dang, this is just not at all what I pictured my life to be like. And I felt scared. I felt I just felt like a lot of these things. And now I look back and I'm like, dang, I'm so glad that we were able to start our family when we did. Yeah, I felt all those emotions.
Yeah.
When I heard that.
Yeah. I think the thing that like I respect the most in her writing this song is that she, first of all, I think in today's like culture, it's very like frowned upon if someone changes their mind on things. I don't really understand why that is, or if other people feel that way, but if people are like, you hypocrite, it's like, yeah, we all like change our minds, or we evolve, or we, you know, wish we would have done things differently. I feel like regret is also something that is like kind of like you're not supposed to have regrets, which obviously like you can't let your regrets like chain you back or hold you down. But I think it's really admirable that she's willing to just like publicly be like, yeah, I'm wondering if I made the right decision, or like everyone can look at me and like envy where I'm at right now, but do they know that I'm envying them back? And I think that takes so much bravery, and it's also, I think the thing that stood out to me most in listening to this song is that her acknowledging that like her decision had a cost, because I feel like a lot of the times this maybe is an American thing probably, where it's like you can have it all, you can be it all, you can do it all. And I feel like this messaging is, I hear it more geared towards like moms, like you can do it all, you can have it all, you can have the career, you can be the best mom, you can do all these things. And I also think that women have a unique pressure to like, I feel like just naturally, I don't know if everyone feels this way, but like there's always this like quiet voice that's like, you're not enough, you're not doing enough, you're not, you know, meeting the standards that you need to do. Like there's more you can do, and comparison, all this stuff. And so her acknowledging like every decision has a cost is refreshing. I told you when we started talking, when you sent that song to me, it reminded me of Danny Austin, who's like another creator and also like mega business owner. Her admitting that she like, in her own words, she said something about like how she blew up her life, like trying to have it all. And for me as a listener hearing that, it felt like a deep sigh of relief, because it's just not true that you can have it all. And it doesn't mean that one decision is right and one decision is wrong. It doesn't mean that career is wrong and motherhood immediately is right, or vice versa. Totally. Like it just means that there's a cost, and you have to kind of weigh those constantly. And I feel like that's what motherhood is, with like we're both working moms, and I feel like I'm always kind of on this teeter-totter of like, how do we balance that, and like what cost is too great where we need to make adjustments, and then this benefit, I'm not seeing it here, so then we got to make adjustments the other way. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I would agree. It's so the balance is hard, and I feel like I was totally bought that lie of like, oh, I can have it all as a kid. And I feel like I reached for that for a really long time, and I don't know, I think I get sad hearing that video, because I think that there's that narrative that like women think, oh, my life, we've talked about this before, but my life is going to stop when I have kids. And I don't think that that's true at all. You know, it like looks different, and like you're saying, we have to adjust things around, but I don't know. It's like, man, my life has started when I had kids. And like even with work, it's like being a mom has made me more efficient. It's made me work harder. It's made me want to like balance my time better. Like I feel like all around, having kids, having a job, like a healthy marriage, all these things like has forced me to become a better, well-rounded woman. And I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, it's not like, oh, I can go be this, I don't know. It's so hard. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, I think it makes sense. And also hearing from your perspective too, like you were career driven at one point and you had these like high aspirations in like the career area, and like you still do. But it's like, I almost feel like there's maybe two different people listening to this podcast, because for me, like I actually never had career ambitions. Like I did before I got married. And then I feel like when I got married, I was just like, well, when are we having kids? Because then I like can't, I felt like you said it, I felt like I couldn't start my life until I had kids, because that was like kind of like my like tunnel vision. Like I was like, gotta have kids. It's like, I don't know why. I literally was just made that way. Like literally in high school, I remember just being like, whose babies can I watch? Like all the time. And I just felt like I couldn't get, like I feel like that time, 3 years of after getting married, I was just like, which isn't a good place to be either. Like I feel like there's a good thing to be said about like contentment, and also just like, yeah, enjoying early marriage and not like rushing into all of that stuff. But like, because I didn't have like huge career ambitions, I feel like it's like women have to decide, right? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to be a mom, or you're going to be a working lady? Like, and it's like, oh gosh.
Totally.
That's a tough place to be. And then I feel like a lot of women too, like they go into the career field and they're like really excited and passionate about it. They get pregnant, have a baby, and then they're like, I actually don't care about any of that anymore. Yeah. And so like, there's that too.
Totally.
There's so many different aspects of it, but on the angle of like being a working mom, I thought, like I used to, something Sadie Robertson actually once totally changed this around for me, but I used to feel every time I like had to do something for work and be away from the kids, I would like literally try to condense everything jam-packed, which I already condensed it to part-time, but like I would literally like be like, okay, maybe what can I get done in 1 hour? Like, and try to get everything done, and then I would just be super stressed the whole time. And like try to never be away, and like I felt really guilty. Like my default is kind of like going towards guilt. Usually I'm like, I'm not doing a good enough mom, I'm not doing enough for them. And something she said is like, I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not even gonna try to quote it, but something about like taking pride in what you do for work gives your kids confidence too, and how like that can also serve them. So now when I talk about it, I'm very intentional. I'm like, I'm gonna go work and you're gonna do fun stuff like with grandma, like things like that. And then now they talk to me about it. They're like, oh, you're gonna go to work and I'm gonna play with honey, or I'm gonna go like do this activity. I'm like, yeah. And I think it's really cool that my kids also can see me as their mom having this role in providing for the family. And like also like we talk about the purpose of work and like working hard too, and I feel like it's good that they see their mom having this role as well, and not that it's only in the career realm but also like within the house. But I don't know, it's helped me just like be more intentional with my work and my role as a mom, and like how I talk about it more, because I felt like really weird. Like I had to like be vague about it. Like I was like, I'll be right back. Like now I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go work. And I don't know. I just feel like for some reason that didn't click for me in the beginning.
Totally. I get why like there's so many, I get why there's so many opinions across the board of this. And I understand why women want to wait, especially like if you go to school, you go to higher education, you spend all this time and money, and then you go into the career field, and it's like, I don't want to just blow all that away, because I think people do probably assume that like once they have kids they won't want to work anymore, and that will shift in their life. And I understand that is like a really hard thing for women to like tussle with and like make that decision on. But then yeah, there's also the flip side of the coin where like we have these jobs where we can work from home, which is nice, and like we can kind of do our hours how we need to like focus on our family the most. But it is hard when these early years, like these are what do they say, like your kids are most impressionable from 1 to 3, like that's when you have the most influence on their life, or 1 to 5. So it's like you want to give them as much as you can in these first 3 to 5 years. So I get why that's hard, where women want to wait, where they're like, okay, I've done the career thing and I want to do it. But then I feel this like sadness for a lot of women that do wait, and then there are like complications or, you know, different things. And it's like, you never want to say that in a way that's going to fear monger women into like wanting to have kids earlier or whatever. But it's just like a reality of things sometimes. And I just feel like I know a lot of women that have pushed off starting a family and like could have the opportunity to make it work well. And sometimes I just wonder, I'm like, dang, are they gonna be sad about that decision later? Which it's okay, you know, but I just feel like we have been sold this lie, like, oh, just wait. And like, I feel like I've thought that, like, I always thought I'd wait till like the 30s to have kids and like do the career thing for a long time. I just feel so grateful that that wasn't the case, because I feel like I have been able to fortunately figure out a way to do both, like have work and be a mom. And I feel like it's been the greatest gift upon my life. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel sad for women that it is like a hard choice.
Yeah.
It's super hard.
Well, and I think on the flip side of it too is that I think like people waiting to have kids, or people are also waiting to get married, which we obviously didn't. And I like have just been, that also started the conversation of like young marriage, like where it was like, okay, because also she's not married anymore. And like when she says like, God damn it, he loves her, I feel like there's like this like longing to like, what was the quote? There was some podcast that Matt and I always talk about where someone's like, marriage is like choosing someone to be a witness to your life. And I just like think about that a lot. I'm like, that's, how do I say this?
It'd be hard for you to imagine.
It'd be hard for me to imagine like going through life without someone intimately knowing everything that's happening, my thoughts, like what I'm going about my day, gosh, like what my one-stop shake order is. Like it's like someone that just like knows you so intimately, like one person that like that would probably feel, I can imagine that where that could feel lonely, where it's like, it's not even the fact that he like this family she's looking at, that he loves her, but that like he knows her and that they're like in each other's lives. I don't know. And so I don't know where I'm going with this, but just thinking about like life, how it looks so differently depending on when you enter into marriage. Because I mean, I got married at 20, which is crazy now saying that. But just thinking about how Matt and I were actually just talking about this. I was like, Matt, I literally know you so well. I was like, I literally remember when you were a kid and I saw you become a man and you saw me go from like become a woman, and we have like this insane library of memories together that like I can't imagine even now at 27. How old am I?
I don't know.
Something about this is actually real. I stopped aging at 25 in my head.
I stopped aging at 23, which is much too young to stop aging.
Every time I'm like, well, I'm 25, and I'm like, nope.
I know. I keep telling people I'm young 20s, and I'm like, I'm literally 29. I'm just the oldest 20 you could possibly be.
The oldest 20. You're the oldest 20. But I was like, the fact that like we have some friends that are single and they're dating right now, like, gosh, they have to fill them in on like, you also can't really, there's something so unique about like having that type of history by that age that it's like, it's really special.
Totally.
Like, so that's not to say one's right or one's wrong. Like, I feel like this is just something that is like unique about young marriage. It's like, gosh, we literally have so much history. Like by the age of 27.
Totally.
Which is wild. I guess
I imagine who we're speaking to right now are those people that are like, they've been dating for 5 years. They know they're going to get married, but they've put the brakes on. I'm like, just get married. Start your life, like get married, have kids, like you can make it work. Like I feel like that's my charge. And I feel like there's obviously a million perspectives on this discussion, and they're not all, there's no right or wrong, but like that's my point of view. I'm like, dang, just do it, because it's so fun to like live your life with someone. It's so fun to have kids. It's just special. I don't know, it's just such a special,
it's really rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
And like obviously people look at marriage and kids as like such a sacrifice, because it is.
Totally.
But making those sacrifices also has like a way of like refining you as a person, where it's like, I don't know, it has completely changed how I view like honestly everything in life. Both of those things. And it's just a practice every single day in selflessness. And I think that's the thing that we have to counteract the most as humans. I feel like our nature is like very selfish, which we kind of have to be. Gosh, there's probably some evolutionary reason to be like, you had to be selfish if you're a pack. But anyway, like, just it is a practice every single day in like selflessness that is really good, and also it's healthy too. Like, I don't know.
I respect Kelsea in this song. I'm sure she made that decision to like get divorced, to not have kids, because she wanted to pursue being selfish for a little bit, and her dream, and like she knew it'd be a cost. Like she wouldn't be able to have a child and pour into a child.
No, it makes sense. Like that was the cost. Like,
yeah, that was her
cost. She was like weighed it, and she was like, this isn't what I want down the line.
Totally.
And well, that's what she thought. And actually, I noticed in that listening to that song again, she literally says what I want. It's like she changed, like she just fully changed her mind. She said that's what she wants.
Totally.
Which is interesting. Do we know what her ex-husband's up to?
He's dating a new person now, and she was just dating Chase Stokes, and they recently broke up.
The guy from Outer Banks?
Yeah. They dated for like 2 years.
Oh, dang.
And an interesting thing is that she froze her eggs. So when she was married to her ex-husband. Oh. So I think she was always planning to have kids a little later, or maybe he didn't. I don't know when they were planning on having kids, but she froze her eggs. So that's also interesting in relation to the song, is that she has eggs. When you're thinking about getting older, having those eggs but not being ready to like get pregnant yet, I guess. That might be another thing. People are having kids later because they know they can freeze their eggs. Like that's a more common thing now.
Wait, I'm dumb.
Am I dumb?
So wait, no. So you can't have kids though after you've gone through menopause, right?
No.
Even if you've frozen your eggs?
Yeah, no.
But are they thinking that these eggs are healthier eggs because they're like younger eggs than when they would have them when they're later?
Well, it's like as you get older, every year you have less eggs.
So maybe if you're having trouble getting pregnant, you can use your frozen eggs?
Yeah, so they don't have to do an egg retrieval then and then start that.
Well, you just don't, you aren't women born with the amount of eggs that they always have. Like we're born in the womb, we're created.
But you only drop one
a month. But no, it's like your body has multiple, but only one gets fertilized.
She froze her eggs when she turned 30.
I just think when people go through IVF.
This actually brings up a bigger conversation.
That we don't know anything about women.
Yeah, I don't think we drop multiple eggs, but.
No, we don't drop multiple eggs, but like when people do IVF in their cycle and they can extract multiple, it's like, oh, they might have 11 this cycle and then like 50 the next. Like that are available. Is that not viable? I don't know, but.
See, this is something we also need to work on.
You have more when you're younger.
Okay.
So if you freeze them, you have a higher chances of them being successful later on.
Okay, well, that is interesting. Well, I guess 32. She's 32.
Yeah,
she can still do this thing.
Yeah. Totally.
She just has to find the person that she wants to have kids.
Something Caleb and I talk about a lot, because my mom and dad were much older when they had kids. My mom she had my older sister at 30, waited 5 years, had me at 35, and then had my little sister when she was almost 40. So they like really spaced them out and stuff. But
your mother looks great.
Yeah,
I did not realize that.
My dad turned 70 this year.
Wow.
Wait. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. He's 69 this year. He'd be really sad if I said that. But yeah, I have older parents on the older side, and like Caleb and I were talking about this. If we want 4 kids and we didn't want to do 4 under 4, and I was 31, 32, like that just really changed your timeline on things. Because I'm like, I don't want to be pregnant back to back to back to back. If I want to have any space and time in there, you think you're pregnant for 9 months, then you're postpartum for a year. That's a long time, And then maybe you want to like have a little bit of an age gap between your kids. So I feel like that's something that I didn't think about before having kids. It's like
it comes quick.
It comes so fast, and those years are not. If you start having kids later, I think that's why the average of kids has gone down. Like most families just have 2.
They probably have to start later.
So getting married, the average for men is 30 and women is 28.
That's younger than I thought it was going to be.
Too, yeah.
That's as of 2023. In 1960, it was at 22 for men and 20 for women. So it's changed that much.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Wow.
That's crazy.
The average age for women for their first birth in 2023 was 27.
Okay.
So that's when I gave birth.
You were the average.
What am I talking about, you guys? I'm literally the culture.
In 1970s, it was 21. So it's changed since since then. I also think one interesting thing about you guys is you both are married to your high school sweetheart. And you know what percentage that is? It's about 2% of people get married to their high school sweetheart.
Man.
And so you guys both, of the 2% of America, you guys are both in that situation, which is interesting. So you dated your husband for a long time. You've been with him for a while.
Yeah, it's been 12 years for Caleb and I. I feel like I have to be careful sometimes talking about these subjects because I do feel like I've been very privileged in this area.
Like I lack perspective.
I'm like, I definitely probably lack
just
perspective.
Marry them.
I know. Like,
just
don't
love them.
have kids early, you know, and like dating, you know, but I understand dating is super hard.
That means we can bring up the cons of dating and marrying young. I got some cons. I feel like I went through a little bit of an identity crisis. I feel like it hit right after we had our first kid, where I was like, I just remember one morning, I was like, I like my eggs scrambled. And I was like, it was like a big proclamation because we had been eating over easy eggs for like 2 years. And I was like, I like them scrambled. And then I was just like, and I like cheese. Like, I just started to think of like all the things where I was like, man, we have just like, I have adapted and like grown around you so much, and him vice versa. But where I was like, gosh, where would I be independent of you? Like, what decisions would I have made? Like, and I think that it's not like, oh gosh, the grass is greener on the other side of this. But it did come to a point where I was like, my gosh, I've literally become an adult with you. Like, I formed around you. We formed around each other. Like, what would I be? Like, what in this alternate life? Like, what would I even be like? And so I feel like it did kind of cause like a little bit of like, what is happening? Like, what do I like? Where do I like? What is happening? I don't know. And so I do think that other people that get married young feel this way too, because I feel we brought it up on a podcast one time. And I think other people were like, yeah, like that's great and it's awesome. But then there's certain times where I'm just like, what would I have been like if I had been single in my 20s until I was like at least the average of like 28. What was it? 27?
I can't even imagine that.
I can't imagine it either.
I don't know who I would be.
That's what made me spiral.
That I don't want to think about that actually.
No, but it did kind of, I was like, I like my eggs scrambled. And then it was just like so interesting. I was like, you know, and then I started to think, I was like, I don't cook with cheese because I live with you. And I like just started to think, I was like, we do this for our job. We live here. And it was like, we had agreed on all of those decisions together, and like we were excited about them, but it just comes, I feel like there was a time where it just like all caught up to me. I was like, what would I be like?
Totally.
And I think that is something interesting.
Yeah.
A pro is that it was really easy to adjust to marriage.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know any different. I never lived independently.
You didn't have an identity.
We had no money. We had no money. And so like the financial transition, the life transition was actually really easy. Like I don't remember having any like major hiccups because I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have any like routines that you were set in, or you
didn't
weren't
have
super
a
set in your ways.
stable job that I was like, I need to be here for this job. Like we were just very flexible. Like everything was, I was in college. Like everything was so flexible at that time. Everything was so low stakes. Whereas like, say I had been with my job and they're like wanting to transfer me to a different state, and I was like, like that would have been like a logistical problem more than anything. But and then you do have to make decisions like what's more important at this point. And so like everything was just really low stakes at that point. So that was a really easy transition. I was like, yeah, everything's fine.
For sure. I was gonna say the same similar thing. We have a very high tolerance for risk, Caleb and I do, because our whole 20s were just risky. Like we had nothing. We didn't have careers. We didn't, you know, like stable careers. We just had no money, which was a con. It was just a con. I remember I was listening to some of your Unplanned podcast episodes, and you were talking about how disciplined we were with our money, and I was like, we just had no choice.
We just had no choice.
And so that was a con, but there are so many pros to that too, where I feel like
you did have a choice though. A lot of people go into serious debt.
Yes, we did.
So you did have a choice.
Thank you. We also did have a choice to get normal jobs, and we chose not to. So we did choose to stay poor. If you're curious, we used to have a clothing boutique that I started in college, and then Caleb and I ran that together, and that was 5 years. I kind of touched on that earlier. And then we had a really bad like season where we lost all the money, and yeah, it was really hard. There was a year we made combined $37,000. Combined. That's no money. That's really low. It was hard.
In Kansas City, Missouri?
No, that was when we lived in Phoenix. That's why we had to move, because we couldn't afford our rent.
Even more bad.
It was really, high living, low income.
Dang it.
But we learned so much from those experiences, and I feel like that helped shape us as we become adults. We're like not afraid to take risks because we lived these lives where it was low stake, or we kind of had to make hard decisions a lot of the times, and if we lost everything, we knew that we'd be okay. Like we could figure it out. It kind of made us a little scrappy. So I feel like there's so many fun things like that. But
I think you build so much trust. Like you're not gonna take risks with someone that you don't trust. But like when you have all this history, it's like you've shown up for me every time. Like we can do this together, and like that, your person's gonna be with you and gonna be along for the ride no matter what.
Totally.
Like that's a major advantage too.
Totally. Yeah, we didn't have those 20s where we like go and travel the world and do all these fun Instagram things, but hopefully we get that in our 30s.
We said we're gonna go clubbing when we're empty nesters. We'll go with you. We're so our wild oats.
The Ellen Pompeo video, I kind of just wrote out exactly what she said. I think it's actually really sweet what she says.
Yeah, do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll say it. So,
wait, what's Ellen Pompeo?
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Was a
so
great video.
I wrote it out because I thought I listened to it and I was like, wow, this is like really cool, especially being a new mom on my end. But especially being a working mom and figuring out how to do that. You cannot be a mother and have children and give 100% to your job. It is a part of you that is somewhere else. You split into different pieces. You are no longer just you. You know what it does? It gives you more soul, richer, funnier, more empathetic, angrier. It gives you a range of emotions you can't even imagine having without this person. You will be yourself times 1,000. You will just be a better version of yourself. It doesn't matter that you can't give 100% to this, because by the way we are as women, we evolve. But if it's something that you want, it will only make you better. I am so much better for having children.
That's so good. I feel like she kind of clarified what we were saying about you can't have it all. Like you can't give 100% of your all to work and do like the crazy grind hustle culture and give 100% to your kids. Like there's got to be a give and a take. I do think like obviously we're examples of you could be working moms. And I know a ton of women, like I know women that in med school that have had kids and families and like they make it work,
Yeah. I mean, my mom was a full-time working mom my entire life.
Yes.
And I think of her as nothing but present and attentive to our needs. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's not, but yeah.
You just have, there's going to be gives with work, and your number one cannot be your job, I feel like, when you have kids.
It's because we're limited. Like, you're literally just, you cannot.
Yes.
I think that's one thing you said to Abby, too, is you said that your marriage is above your career, too.
Yeah.
Yes, your kids are above your career, but your marriage also is as well.
Yeah, that was actually something that we brought up when we were talking about the song, too, is that Matt and I consciously, like, we went into college to be theater performers, actors, whatever that meant. And I was just laughing about that this morning because I was like, Matt, realistically, things were going to change anyway. But early on, we're like, this is like what we were going to school for. Like, this was the dream, right? And so then after one semester, we had talked to like a lot of our professors, which a lot of them had ended up going into teaching, like acting or whatever their class was or subject was, because they were like, yeah, I wanted to have kids and I wanted to have a family. Or like, they were like, I was in a tour in Asia and my partner was overseas for 9 months, a year. And we were just like, oh, like that's I don't know if we wanted to make that sacrifice. And so very consciously after one semester, we were like, yeah, it's more important that we're together and we can prioritize us. And like, we already knew then that we wanted to get married and like soon. So we're like, we want to just prioritize this marriage, like our marriage over career. And I think it was really good for us to make that decision really early on because it just made everything else really easy, honestly. And let me tell you, people were like worried in my life, like, Abby, you're going to give this up. Like, this is like, you really, like, you've done this since you were in second grade. Like, you were really like shooting for this. And I just remember just being like, I didn't grieve it, which that doesn't mean that some people won't make sacrifices, that they were like, this was hard and I really miss it. And like to this day, like I still love theater and I still like miss, like Matt and I saw Wicked live, and we told you that we like literally sobbed, both of us, when the opening number came in, because it just like brought something awake inside of us. We're like, oh, I like miss that passion, that time of our lives. But like to consciously make that handoff early on, like it was pretty different, and I think people were like, what? But it made everything really easy because we're like, well, yeah, if that's the cost, I don't want to pay it. And Yeah, I think that a lot of things in life are like that. Yes, so that to say, like, me saying, like, you can't have it all is, like, you cannot, you yourself are 100%. You can't give 100% to everything. And if you do, you're just going to feel like you're just going to constantly be beating yourself up.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you don't work. That doesn't mean you don't have kids.
Yeah.
That just means that you are constantly in this tension.
Totally.
And that's part of it.
And I don't know why that feels, like, controversial to say.
Really?
You know? I don't know. I don't think it is, but I feel like people will be like, if I say you're a mom, you shouldn't give 100% to your job over your kids. Like, I feel like that is, like, a universally, like, if the man was like, I'm a workaholic and he doesn't give time to his kids, I think everyone would be like, you're a jerk. But then when a woman wants to say that, I feel like people are like, no, work, you can do it. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
that's true.
And I just don't actually think that that's normal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm navigating that right now of like working and being. I actually feel the most guilty when I'm with her and working rather than her being with someone else. I'm like, I feel so much better when I know she's with someone who can give them their full attention and hang out with her and play with her, and then I can give my full attention to work for a little bit of time, and then I feel so much better on all aspects.
I think it's because they're so little, they don't understand that, like, exactly what's happening. So it's like, why is my mom here and like not playing with me? Like, I think about that sometimes, and I feel like now just like having that conversation, I'm just like, I'm working, and like they're like super good with it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's just a tension that I'll live in, constantly be evaluating, and that's okay, and it's going to change and it's going to look differently. But to summarize this, like Abby was saying, if you're dating and you're like, you just picture your whole life with this person and you're just like, no, just not the right time, or like, I need to do X, Y, and Z first. I don't know. I think the timeline is here nor there. I remember that being a huge thing when we got married, because everyone was like, you have to at least graduate college first. And I was like, no, we're not going to. And Matt never graduated. So we would still not be married.
I never felt ready. Like, I did not feel ready to have kids. And then I had kids, and I was like, oh, you just get ready. You just figure it out. You make it work. And so if that's your thing where you're just like, oh, I just don't feel ready. Just have trust in yourself that you are resilient and you can do it. And if that's something you want in the future, my encouragement is to just pull the trigger. And
having kids is actually great. Like, I feel like there's a lot of, that's the thing that's hard. I keep quoting these other things, but remember the thing that was like huge with like Chapel Roan. I hope they don't mean any hate to her, but I honestly think,
I just disagreed with her. But
she said all of her friends that had kids young or something like that, or were miserable. And I think that it's just so interesting, because that's like her perspective of like looking in it as like, and I think that also can reflect on like us as young moms. Like, how are we presenting to people that don't have kids? Yeah. Like, it's not totally on her, right? Like, if you're griping and moaning about it in front of people that don't have kids, like, that's not a good thing to do. Like, honestly, like, there's a time and a place to be like, this is really hard right now. Like, we're in a stage where we're not sleeping. That's really, really hard. And you should have space to say that. I think that community is with other moms, and I think that's really great. And it's not that you can't say that, but it's just like, the messaging should be positive first. And like, this is awesome and super rewarding. And I'm sure those moms are like, yeah, I'm sure they're exhausted. Yes. But I'm sure if she were to come back and talk to them, like, do you think you made a mistake? Like, do you regret it? It would be absolutely not.
I know.
And so maybe those conversations could be a little bit more redeeming. I don't know, like, how.
That's a good point, Abby. I get so frustrated online when I'm scrolling on the reels, and it's just people dogging on their kids, like, in a humorous way. I'm like, yeah, these jokes are funny, or like, it'll be a video of a kid doing something crazy, like smearing poop, something that is really gross and really hard and like does sometimes happen. And the comments are, this was great birth control. This was great birth control. I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah, because you can't control that audience at that point.
Yeah. And I'm like, dang, if that's what people think kids are, smearing poop and an inconvenience to your life, like, that sucks. It's like, that's not the message that we want. And because that's not true.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, you can share those stories with your friends and your family and like other moms, but to people that aren't moms, it's like, man, think about how they take that stuff.
Yeah.
I think kids you just learn and adapt. Like, it's so interesting. Even like over the holidays, you have a baby, you're going in and out, naps are crazy, all these things. And what did we do yesterday? We were like, okay, we're not going to go to this thing because our daughter needs to nap, and you just learn and adapt and it's not miserable. Like,
Totally.
I guess it's just everyone's perspective.
Also, baby years are short. I feel like people forget that. Like the nap stage is
We're
short.
still functioning. Like, you see us, we're talking, we're alive.
Yeah.
You aren't gonna go tell someone at the supermarket, I'm not sleeping. Like, your body adapts as a mom.
Yeah, I just, people always think that like the baby stage is forever, and it's like, no offense, but in 3 years the kid's not gonna nap, and then in 5 years they're gonna be in school and you're not gonna see them. So I don't know, like you're gonna have your life back in a couple of years. You know what I mean? I'm like,
I'm
people
not
are like, oh,
dropping them off.
kids are so inconvenient.
I am not dropping them out at school.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm like, it's just such a short time that we're inconvenienced in the great scheme of our life.
Yeah. And also, gosh, I can't say this and not think about someone that's like struggling with infertility or like going through a loss too. Mm-hmm. So like, not to say like this is like the end all be all, or like your life can't start until that next thing happens. So
no,
there's so many people listening to this, and I just had to think about that too. Like,
thanks for saying that. Yeah.
Like, there's so much joy in where you're at now. And it can feel like everything has to be on pause until that next thing happens, or this thing or this stage enters, or like maybe motherhood feels like this club that you're just not ever going to be a part of, or like it's just really hard. And so all I have to say, I'm like, I'm thinking about you too. Like, it's a great, that must be hard.
Totally.
And so, yeah, not like it's like the ultimate end all be all. Like, everyone's life looks different, everyone's timeline looks different, and a lot of that is out of your control too. And so try not to beat yourself up and try to find contentment. I know that's such a general thing to say right now, but there's a purpose for the season that you're in. As much as it doesn't look like what you want it to be. Like, there's a purpose for it, and lean on your friends.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I think that's good to say that.
Marriage and kids are amazing.
Yes.
And if you're in that season of waiting for those things, and those are things that you want and they don't feel accessible right now, like, I hurt for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's hard.
Totally. And our lives aren't like better than yours. It's just
different. Yeah.
I would say I look back and I wish I would have enjoyed those seasons more than like I was so excited to get married that I kind of just like tried to rush into getting married. I wanted kids, so I rushed into, and then I'm like, I should have soaked it in a little bit more. So while it is hard while you're waiting, I'm like, just soak it in. Like,
that's the hardest thing, is just finding contentment where you're at. Gosh, especially like for someone like me, like I don't even feel like I'm a planner at all. Like, I don't even like really think ahead, but I'm just like, I love looking forward to things. That's how I always, like, even as a kid, I like looked back and I was like, when something was ending, my mom was like, well, this is coming, and like I feel like that's how I always like kept propelling myself forward. So that's kind of life.
But we love women. We're pro women. We're pro children. We're pro
marriage.
Ask Abby's.
Wait, this is fun. This is our first time having a listener do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous.
It's fun. We're going to do 3 questions, or 3 voicemails from listeners. And here is the first one.
My name's Francesca, and I was wondering, what's your best advice for getting motivated to help with my like self-image and how I feel about my body, and basically how to motivate myself to lose a bunch of weight. Love you guys.
Oh my gosh, that's such a sweet, honest. Francesca, thank you for sending that. I feel like probably a lot of people relate to that or wonder the same things. I feel like my initial reaction is weight is just a number, you know, and that shouldn't. I don't always feel like that's not a bad motivation for things if it's like unhealthy, but I think your motivation should just be health. And I feel like that's, especially postpartum, I felt that a lot, like especially when your body changes a lot, you know. I feel like as women, our bodies go through a lot of ups and downs, and it's been motivating and really fun, and it's helped like keep my health forefront of mind when I just think about, I want to feel strong, I want to feel like I have the best energy levels and all that. So finding that's been motivating for me. And if it's, I feel like if I'm just like, oh, I want to lose weight, or I'm not feeling confident about my body and I want to wait, then that leads me want to do unhealthy things, like not eat the way that I should, or like, you know, eat less calories than that's correct, or go too crazy in the gym, or it's overwhelming and I don't want to do anything at all. And so I feel like that's almost not like I feel like there is other factors that could be maybe more motivating than weight on the scale. I don't know.
Yeah, find a way to move your body that you just actually really like.
Yes.
And that can be a lot of trial and error. I think the great place to start would be group fitness, because you have that built-in accountability, and you don't have to think. You literally just show up and they tell you what to do, and you leave, and like almost every time you get a good, well-rounded workout because someone that's really well-trained in all of this is like writing it for you. And more than anything, like if you find a community that's the best way to stay accountable, in my opinion, and something that you like. Now, something I want to say is that like you can't hate the way you look or hate your body into changing. I think you have to love it into that. And I mean that sounds so cheesy, but I mean that in the sense of like you have to love your body in the sense that like you want to do good things for it and like move it and feed it well and also treat it. Like do those things, and then that will be the change, rather than like I just despise what I see, and that's just not going to be long lasting. I feel like this is my conversation with my mom a lot. Like I'm like, hey, your goals should just be to show up.
Yes,
that is amazing. That's my only goal, is to show up. And like I want to do it because I want to do something good for my body, because I love my body and I want to be able to do things with it for a long time. And so I feel like the motivation has to come from love and not like hate. Now the self-image part, that is hard, and gosh, I don't even necessarily know how to tackle that. Like I feel like that's something that everyone struggles with.
Yeah, and I think it shifts a lot throughout your life.
Yeah,
and I feel like, Francesca, you sound young, which is sweet. Thank you for like listening. And I just feel like too, as you get older, that will change. Like I remember feeling very insecure about myself when I was in high school, and worrying about all these things. And I look back at pictures now and I'm like, why was I ever like insecure, or like why did I worry about these things at a young age? And as you get older, I feel like you get life experience. You kind of get out of like, oh, these are the certain images or standards of beauty, or this is what's right and what's wrong, and you kind of get this overall, which is like silly to say like, oh, just wait. That's not my point, but I'm just saying like when you're young, it feels like it's your whole world and it's everything that you're thinking of, and it's really important, feels really important. So yeah, I just feel like give yourself some grace when you're young.
And in the interim, I feel like when I have felt like low self-image times, just doing a little bit, like maybe this is bad, guys, correct me if this is bad advice, but sometimes I'm like, let me just get myself done up like one time, and then I just feel like it just like kickstarts me into like, I don't know, okay, so say I do my mascara and I'm like, oh my gosh, my eyes, like they're really standing out, and then you start to notice the things naturally about yourself that you really like, and so it's like less of a crutch and more of just like a kickstart. I don't know, like find things that make you feel more confident. Like if there's a certain way you do your hair, or like a little bit of makeup, or an outfit that you feel like really flatters you, I feel like that's just the thing that you can kickstart you into like social settings in which you're gonna have people that are like actually gonna like speak life into you and like fulfill you in other ways, and kind of get you out of that headspace where it's like the only thing that matters is like how I look, which maybe that is like how it feels, but then once you're out and like, oh, people like me because I'm funny, or people like me because like they like the things I have to say or the energy I bring to a room, and it's like maybe that's just all it takes to get you in those settings. I don't know, when I'm like in a down world, I'm like, I think I just need to like curl my hair, do a little mascara, and then get out of my space and be with other people, and that really kind of helps like get your thoughts out of your own head.
That's good.
Thanks for saying that question.
Hi guys, this is Kamari. I have been watching you all for quite some time. My question is, how do you find the strength to keep going as a mother even when you're going through things like grief, postpartum depression, and just life itself?
It's fresh for me still, like, but yeah, you saying that does like reveal in me. I feel like there was a lot of times, like especially at the beginning, where I was like, I'm not showing up at all for my kids because I'm just so wrapped up in my own grief. Like I just felt like I couldn't show up for them. I think you gave me this advice, Abby, so this was good, but you were like, it's good for them to see you grieving, it's good for them to see you like sad. I don't know how you said it, but and I think other friends gave me that advice as well, because I was like so stuck in this, like I can't be around them if I'm just such a bother, like if I'm just so down. And so then it was like me retreating, and like Matt was doing everything for the kids, and that's a privilege, because like this mom who called in, like she might not have that as an option. And I just want to say, like, it's okay, because I needed to hear this too, it's okay for your kids to see you down. I think important to follow up with conversation though about like what you are down about in a child appropriate way. And finding ways to do that was really important for me, because I think this is how kids also start to learn how to cope with their own feelings. Knowing that I've heard it said before too, like when kids experience like an emotion and they feel like mom or dad never had, like they never experienced this, they don't know what it's like, and that can feel really confusing and lonely for kids. So like saying like, mom feels sad right now, and I would like tell them like why I was sad in a child appropriate way, and that like felt like a relief to me that I didn't have to just completely disappear because I was just like sad. And it also feel like for them, like then they had a frame of reference where it's like, okay, like then they would bring it up to me. And so I feel like that was like, I'm not explaining this well at all, but basically don't feel like you have to shield your kids from that. I do think that you should reflect like, how am I going to, like, especially with some of the things you can be grieving can be really like really heavy, and maybe not necessarily like, because also I was like, if I start to talk about this to like my 2 and 3 year old, I could really unload on them, and that's not their job. So just like do this thoughtfully, but don't feel like you have to hide that up or bottle that up or just completely retreat, because they're smart. They're really smart no matter how young they are.
Totally. That's a good answer, Ab. Yeah, your grief came from a place of love, and that's a really important thing for your kids to see it in your specific. And I think anyone who's going through loss, like if you're grieving a loss of a parent, of a child, of anything, like you're feeling super sad because you loved them so much, and that's a really sweet thing for your kids to see, and for you to explain to them like, this is like, I loved them so much, you know. And like that's a what's the word, like honorable thing. That's not, you know. And I think that's a good reminder, like grief isn't bad, like it's coming from a place of like love and sadness.
I think have grace on yourself too. That's so hard to do sometimes, but just like know that this is a tough season and it's not going to look like this always. So for me, like your question is like about keeping going, and it's like, I think set small goals for yourself, like as a mom would be like just a really, like if depending on how old your kids are, it's like, I want to do one guided activity with them today, or I want to do 10 minutes of just like play with them. And then just like having those like little goals to start help get you back in motion too. And then you can also just be like, I showed up for them, and you don't have to just deal with like that guilt of like, maybe I can't be as fun or as like lively or imaginative. Like I was like, I can't use my imagination right now. Like I just remember feeling like I can't just like run around and be goofy. But like I'm like, I can sit down and do Play-Doh with them for like 10 minutes or things like that. So just set small goals too, because like eventually 3 weeks into small goals, you'll find yourself in a better place. Like I guarantee it. And it fluctuates too, as I'm sure anyone who's gone through grief knows. But
yeah, you don't have to hide that from your kids. Like when your kids are older and they look back on that and like, oh wow, mom really struggled with postpartum depression, or mom was really grieving during that season. They're not going to think she was so weak. You know, they're going to think, wow, look how strong my mom is. She got through that season and she's still like this amazing mom and she loves us. So
but they might feel confused if it's not like a conversation, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And because I think kids tend to put things on themselves, like how their parents are doing, like on themselves. So
it's a good call.
What are some tips or advice that you have for when you just found out that you're pregnant?
When you just found out you're pregnant, what do you do?
Oh, you probably sweat a lot. Buy deodorant.
I literally listened to a podcast. I was like, what do I do when you find out you're pregnant?
Oh, like what do you like actually do?
Actually, what should you do?
That's a great question.
Well, that's what's hard. At the beginning, there's not a lot to do.
Totally. You kind of just have to wait, because you call your doctor. You need to make a doctor's appointment. And they're going to tell you have to wait till 8 weeks.
Find an OBGYN. What'd you say?
They tell you to wait till 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many weeks I am. They'll help you calculate it, help you figure it out. Gosh, it's so exciting and so fun. I remember when I found out with CJ, I was obviously like really surprised. And I drove to Starbucks and I was sweating so much and trying to hold back tears. And I hadn't told anybody yet. I drove immediately to Starbucks. I was going to get a drink. And I told the guy at the counter, I go, can you write on it, I'm pregnant? Just like bawling my eyes out. and he's like, did you just find out? And I was like, yeah. And he gave me a hug. Aww. And it was really sweet. Yeah. So I feel like after that emotions kind of like settle, you can decide then with your partner how you want to tell people and when you want to tell people. I think that's kind of it. You just kind of wait.
Yeah.
It's a lot of waiting.
Yep.
Would you agree, Addie?
Yeah, I had no idea what to do, and we were recording a podcast that day, and so I listened to a podcast from, I don't even know who, someone somewhere. It was like, what to do when you find out you're pregnant.
Yeah.
What they say?
Yeah, what they say?
They said, make an appointment, call an OB if you haven't found one, start taking a prenatal if you're not.
Oh, that's a good tip.
I wasn't taking a prenatal. I should have been. Yeah, and then a lot of waiting. But I also just told everyone that day, so.
Oh, yeah. That's the hardest part. It's like you kind of just have to tell someone. Tell at least one person.
I had to tell.
Get it off your chest, you know?
Well, we told Abby, and then she convinced us to go tell everyone.
Well, I also knew that my mom would be so mad if I knew.
Yeah.
Well, like long before her.
Yeah.
I was like, are you waiting for a specific reason? Or because I was like, if you're not, you better tell Lori.
Yeah. Blake was the one that was like, let's wait. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
I had an unhinged. This is probably going to get cut. But when I was thinking about pros and cons to getting married.
Oh, gosh.
This is unhinged.
But I just had to say it.
Okay.
If you get married young, you're going to have sex a lot.
You got a lot of practice time.
Like I literally, Matt asked ChatGPT.
A lot more as in a lot more in your lifetime?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so true.
Like if you're just doing one night stands, there's literally no way you'll spend your whole life coordinating partners. Like, I mean, it's just not gonna work out. Matt asked ChatGPT, like, where are we at as far as like a total?
Caleb and I also just calculated that up. What? Just ourselves, though.
Just ourselves. I'm not gonna give it, but
no.
I was like, no one. It'd take a long time for newlyweds to catch up.
You'll never catch up to us.
Oh my god! Hey, okay, we cried a lot this episode. I had to do something
lighthearted.
Well, thanks guys for supporting us. It's like obviously we're working out our podcast muscle together.
Yeah,
it's gonna get stronger over time. But
we're new to this. It feels. I know you're like this is a new role for you.
Yeah,
this is definitely a new role for me. So
yeah,
thanks for listening to episode 2.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. If you want to leave a voicemail for next week's episode, be sure to call in, and the number is 602-456-9690. If you're driving or doing laundry or something, it'll also be in the description and on our Instagram page. Follow us on the Instagram page.
Yeah,
that'd be really
subscribe
fun.
on YouTube.
And subscribe on YouTube.
And TikTok, we're there as well.
Thanks so much for being here and being a part of the Always Here community. It makes this like so much more fun.
Totally.
Doing this with you guys.
Totally.
So,
and remember, we're always here.